And let's talk about your background. You know, during my introduction, I called you the CEO of Most Vicious Players or the MVPs. How did you become the CEO of Most Vicious Players? Talk to me about that whole process and that entire background, far as like organizing the whole movement that you did. Because I don't think I know the story. I know some of it.
Mhm.
I know what it was back then, but I don't know how it began. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, yeah, and, most people are surprised when I tell them, but I'm not one of the OG COD players that's been playing since, 2007, talking about the first Call of Duty that came out and stuff like that. My first Call of Duty was Ghost, actually, and, I didn't even really start playing until I graduated from college. I went to St. John's University in New York City,
Mhm.
and, yeah, once I had more free time, I started playing Call of Duty a little bit more. And how it came about, as far as making things organized and things like that, is, well, playing COD Ghost, you could see when you were playing in the lobbies what people's KDs were,
Yes.
right? And so, people complain a lot about the skill-based matchmaking and stuff today, but they already had that all the way back then. It was just less aggressive, right?
Right.
And so, when you could see people's stats and stuff like that, it make you a little upset when you have the best stats, but you lose every game. You know,
Right.
and so, and it's based on your teammates a lot of the time, right? And so, people like me and others started getting tired of having the best score or being the best player, and not winning. And so, we band together, right? And so that's
Mhm.
how Most Vicious Players Clan was started. And once we realized how good we were, we had people that were ranked number one on the game. We had like 4 or 5 people ranked in the top 20 in the whole game.
Wow.
And so, they were asking, we need to put this on social media and stuff like that. And that back then, that's actually, I believe it was 2014. That's actually, when social media is still kind of new. It's humming still,
Mhm.
right, at that time, but it's still kind of new.
Right.
And so I really didn't want to get into it. I didn't like really put my personal stuff out there like that.
Mhm.
And I always have this kind of motto where it's like, "Hey, if you wanna see me, then come see me," or you can call me on the phone, right?
For sure.
But, I don't like putting my personal stuff out there like that. So when it was for Call of Duty, I was like, "Absolutely." This is marketing, this is branding, this is the type of stuff that,
Mhm.
makes a person who they are, right? When it comes to trying to sell a product and things like that. And, yeah, that's how it got started. And we decided to keep pushing it in a direction of, let's base what we're doing around the community. Because at the end of the day, how can you get more eyeballs when you're talking about yourself or when you're talking about everybody, right? And even on
Yeah.
an individual basis, everybody, right?
Mhm.
And so we started doing our tournaments, started doing our clip contests, and we had thousands of people participate, over a span of, I would say, about 8 or 9 months.
Wow.
And no, it came to a point where I was like, well, how come we're finding all these streamers that eventually they blew up, actually? Yeah, I don't want to name all of them by name right now,
Mhm.
but we'll find out in the future as we reveal, who's come through our events. And that's why we started the amateur esports union, is because people like us who have streamed 1,000 wins in a row, right? Or people like the content creators that are hitting these trick shots, and they're blowing up on Twitch and stuff like that, or YouTube, and they're still not getting recruited, or they're still not getting invited to these tournaments that are high level and things like that, right? And so we're here to break down that barrier of entry
Yeah.
even lower, right? So that people will have a chance. And so that's what the amateur esports union is all about. So the three main things that we focus on is player development,
Okay.
player visibility, and education. And so what we're going to get to do is create Most Vicious Players as the first tournament organizer under the Amateur Esports Union as our pilot program. And so everybody's going to see that come out soon.
Mhm.
And everybody will have a chance to, show who they are. And that's the whole point of what we're doing.
Man, you just took us from 2017 all the way to present day, man, with that breakdown. So I have a couple questions just so we can just get some details out of the details that you just gave us. Most vicious players, like that first group. Who was in that first group? Like the I guess the founding members. Like who?
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to them. And you know how gaming is. You switch games,
Yeah,
you might switch teams,
yeah,
you might just want to play with your family, right? Things like that. And so
yeah.
people come and go when it comes to teams, and that's every sport.
It's a fact.
But they're all still family for sure. And they can hit me up anytime. They know that.
Mhm.
And for me personally, if anybody hits me up, I'm gonna be all ears and I'm gonna give them whatever advice I can every time. And so, shout out to them. Shout out to It's Johnny,
Johnny.
Hello Good Night, Not My Food Stamps, Ariaz, True Lives, Run Forest. Those are all their gamer names, right? But they were there from the beginning. That was our foundation. And once we had players like that, everybody else wanted to join too,
Yeah,
because they were making it fun and they were, taking it serious as well, right?
yeah,
To a certain degree. And so yeah, that core where you start with,
yeah.
man, that's usually not who you end with,
Mhm.
but it's still all love though.
Man, you know what? Salute to that core unit because I follow all of those guys and I've seen it firsthand. Y'all demonstration when y'all were in those lobbies, man. Um, I was excited, to be accepted into the crew this way back then.
Hmm,
Um,
hmm.
just being in the lobby with y'all, man. I remember being in one of your streams while I was in the lobbies with y'all, running some games with y'all. And it was one person was like, "Man, why did it don't never get over 10 kills, man? Why he don't never get over 10 kills?" And, the thing of it was, we was playing team deathmatch, bro. Like it was
Right.
only 100 kill cap. Like everybody got 25. Like what you want me to do, man? I ain't going
Right, we was
negative.
moving fast on Infinite Warfare BO3 because that movement is crazy. You get across the map in a couple seconds,
Yeah,
right?
I'll never forget that. I think it was it Cringe? What's her name, man? She was like, Diddy ain't I bet he won't get over 10 kills. I'm like, man, come on, man.
Uh, it's highly competitive, and
Yeah,
it's funny because a lot of the time, if you're really, really good, you're
yeah,
used to carrying the team like crazy, and
right.
that's actually the fun part, right? Especially in Call of Duty, right?
That's
Or
a
and
fact.
really FPS in general, and definitely sports, right? Regular sports.
Yeah,
And so, when you get into those teams where it's like, all right, I'm gonna step back. It's more like the Boston Celtics in 08, 09, right? Where
right.
all right, everybody's gonna average 15. We don't need KG and Rondo and everybody to drop 30. We just need y'all to do something that keeps
Yeah,
us afloat, right? And so that's kind of how our team was. Is if
yeah.
somebody was snapping, you just gotta bite that bullet
Yeah,
that
you
game,
gotta let him rock. Yeah, man, I'm on the street. Yeah, I remember like that call out would go out, everybody would kind of fall back, you know, let the man cook, drop that nuke.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, oh
yeah.
man,
Somebody get close to the nuke, we'll literally let you get the nuke because you can't get it yourself in this lobby. Like we have to allow that.
exactly. Because the games go
Yeah.
by stupid fast, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
you know what? Unfortunately, man, today the team deathmatch is not the same. It's really not,
it's
especially
not
with the
not even
less
close.
movement. So people in Call of Duty, at least, and people are more camping and stuff like that. And I don't see anyone that hits me up and says, "Hey, man, let's play TDM." Right? They're gonna ask me to play Warzone or maybe even kill confirm because once you get the kill, you have to go over there, right?
Yeah,
And get the confirm.
it's
And
fact.
so yeah, it's kind of sad that it faded away, but it's probably for the better. We get more kills and stuff.
You know what? You brought up a great point that I want to transition to, and that's the you and the click, the MVPs just going ham from lobby to lobby. You guys were known for, specifically you were known for in the community for having over a 1,000 game win streak.
Yep, that's right. That's
How
right.
in the hell did that happen?
Yeah, yeah. That's actually
God,
one of the best moments in I would say gaming ever when it comes to, my own biased person. You know, but I was doing a stream on Infinite and I remember I had like a 70 win streak. It was a little higher than 70. And
mm,
somebody came to the stream and was like, dang, 70 wins in a row. And man, I got on the mic and I was like, yo, John, you hear that? It was True Lies.
yeah,
And I was like, 70? That's like low, man. We be getting to the hundreds all the time. And the only reason we lose is because we really don't care. It's gonna go back up into the hundreds. So
Mm.
I said, literally that day, I said, "Watch this. I'm gonna do 1,000 wins in a row. I don't want anyone else to say anything to me ever again after that." Because
Thousand.
during that time, especially on Instagram, because that's where our main focus was on social media,
Mhm.
is you couldn't do a 5-minute video on Instagram or even 30
No,
seconds. It was
it was
15
15
seconds,
seconds. Yeah, yeah.
or you post a picture.
Right.
So when I post something for 15 seconds, they'll be like, "A three-piece, that's it? Or 6 kills, that's all you got?" I'll
That's
be
all the
like,
time,
"I
man.
mean,
Yeah,
how much time do I have?" Right?
yeah.
And so that kinda shut all that down. All the hating, all the naysayers and all that you can't say anything after that. We just won 1,000 games in a row. It doesn't matter what fashion was in, doesn't matter what game it was in, it doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as it was legit and not cheating, can't say anything about that. And so, it was kind of funny because we did it knowing that we could do it ahead of time. And you know what? I played a lot of those games with the stream actually. Like I was inviting people from the chat to play with me. And
Mhm.
so it wasn't like we were stacking the odds most of the time. And I remember actually winning a couple games by 1 point in TDM. And so I actually got a little shook during those. I was like, oh, maybe I should invite a couple clan members next time.
Yeah, 'cause I think I was in that game. I
Oh,
was
were you? Yeah.
yeah, I was
I'm
kinda
not surprised.
yeah, I was kinda nervous, like, damn, I don't wanna fuck up I don't damn,
you know,
I don't wanna mess
yeah.
up the streak. I was like, yo, let me fall back because I was getting toasted that game. Yeah. You know that map on
Yeah,
Infinite Warfare, the map that's kinda like it's like buildings, like snow is it's kinda like on a mountain, the edge of a mountain, and you can do that wall run on the side of the building that's facing, like, the mountain range, and it's
I
a
know what you're talking about, but I completely forgot all the map names.
yeah, I don't know the name of that map, but it was that map, and I was like, "Yeah, let me fall back because 'cause I'm getting toasted. Let me camp real quick, man." You know?
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it works.
But 1,000 over 1,000 wins. When did it stop? Like, what number was it? Like
Yeah, we started that in January, and that streak ended around May, April. I think it's April, May. I want to say maybe the end
that's
of
a grind.
April, beginning of May. I can't really remember the exact date.
That's a
And
grind.
you know what? We were at 1,047 wins in a row. And actually, my clan member, Run Forest, he did it too. And we didn't play together every day. We played a lot together, but not every day. So he did that on his own.
So he had 1,000
And
wins too.
he had that too on his own.
Mhm.
And you know what? I ended up just losing on purpose. At the 1,047, I said, first of all, there's nothing else to prove. Like, first, if you can do 1,000 wins in a row, you could probably do it again. Like, just like anything else. If you could do it once, you could do it twice. Right. And then, on top of that, it was a lot of pressure. Like, and this is not something that I'm really focused on per se. I'm just still enjoying myself, knowing that
Right.
we're going to, assuming that we're going to win every game. And people coming to the chat, people stream sniping now, right? I'm just like, yo, this is too much, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
So I
trying to
just went ahead.
knock you
I
off the
went in there,
streak.
lost on purpose, and people were devastated when they came into the chat. Like, what happened to the streak? I said, we starting a new one,
I was one of
and
those
we
people.
did.
I was like, "Oh, the streak gone, bruh." Like, come on, fam. That was
Yeah, it was
that
just too
was it,
much
man. Salute to
pressure.
that, man. Salute to that.
Yeah,
Um,
appreciate it.